Hello everybody. This is Angie, your host for From Religion to Woohoo, and I was dropping in today to share with you a little bit of some intuitive hits I've got lately. Just to introduce myself a little bit. I always forget this part, so today I remembered and I'm gonna just do it. Anyways, so I'm Angie and I am an intuitive life coach, meditation and mindfulness certified coach, Reiki and sound healing practitioner. And I have worked in the mental health field all of my life. Started out thinking that I was going to be working in a church as a youth leader when I was younger, because I had started going to church at 16 and knew I wanted to help people. But because of the stuff going on in my life at that time, I moved, after I moved into the setting of the church, kind of had the religious programming put inside of me, and then followed the crowd to a Christian college for 3 years. That was an interesting experience. And after 3 years, I did leave. I ended up getting my associates in Bible. And so when I talk about stuff on this podcast about how I have moved away from religion to what I say woohoo, I know that the technical terminology is woo-woo. However, why not make it fun? Anyways, I, have quite a bit of background within the spiritual, community of, I guess, religion more so. And, what's interesting is even as I was in that religious mindset, a lot of the things that I was experiencing in my life were pretty, I would say woo-woo. I like intuitive understandings, communication with spirits, having kind of understanding and wisdom of like pings of things that were going to happen before they happened. Just some really interesting things. Like I would see shadows. I would, I had really, really vivid dreams. I would like get warnings about people and how to, people I need to stay away from, or maybe something that I'm supposed to share with somebody. So all of my programming over time kind of took me away from really tuning into this part of myself and understanding my intuition. And I questioned that a lot in those years of my religion. And as I started to move out of it, since my awakening in 2016, I have begun to learn a little bit more on how to trust my intuition, how to tune into it, and how to allow it to guide me and lead me in my everyday life. And I have noticed in the last probably 4 days, probably 5 days, I have been kind of moving and doing things in my ego self. And I don't always recognize it until sometimes hours later. And I feel exhausted. I feel tired. I feel anxious. I have anger. I have all these lower vibration energies that start to pile up inside of me. And it is not until I start to get those kind of energies in my body that I start to realize that I had actually not been doing my work through my spirit, but through my ego. And I wanted to share a couple examples with you on how I was able to recognize this. And maybe this will help you all to tune into your intuition and spirit a little bit more, and to be led by the spirit a little bit more than the ego, because this is a hard thing to learn. I mean, nobody's gonna actually master this in their lifetime, and if you think you have, then let me just tell you with love, that is the ego. Anyways, So two examples. One of them happened today, and one of them happened over the weekend. So I had released my first book, Leaf Lessons, When Trauma and Religion Collide, this process of spiritual awakening and healing. And I have gone back and forth with feeling really good about this book and feeling really nervous about this book and feeling really scared to put it out. And then I've gotten really great reviews. I've gotten some not so great reviews. I've gotten all kinds of stuff, which I knew as I put this out in the world, I was going to have to be prepared for both, because that's just what happens when you put yourself out there like that. So I've been trying to focus more on the positive and not the negative, because I know when I wrote the book, it was through my spirit guides, and I really try not to add anything from my ego in it. Now, I can't promise you that the entire book is spirit-led, but I know that was my passion and purpose in writing that. And I had gotten so I'm doing a series of leaf lesson books. And I had gotten some titles for my next books a while back. And one of the titles, like subtitles underneath the leaf lessons. And one of the titles came to me, and I knew it was going to be my second book. And so I had written it down. This was, months ago. I was still writing my first book when I got this title. And I even started writing that book at the time. I was trying to write 2 books at once, and I'm like, nope, I gotta focus on one. And so I wrote it down, but the other morning, I can't remember what morning it was. It must have been Friday morning, I believe. I remember I was in my car driving, or it was right before I was awake. No, just kidding. I just lied. It was right when I was waking up, because I get a lot of intuitive hits during that time. And I heard in my spirit something else to add into my subtitle. And I was like, wow, that's really good. And so I felt as if my spirit guides, or my intuition was like, okay, it's time to start writing. Like, let's start getting in tune and get this stuff out. And so I started to sit down and write. I wrote some on Saturday, I wrote some on Sunday, and then I plan to write again I wrote last night. Yesterday was Sunday. Just kidding. I don't know. No, wait. Yesterday was Monday. I wrote on Monday. Sorry. July 4th was yesterday, and we were off work, and I was just like, so my days are all mixed up. But so I plan to write again tonight. However, what I'm trying to say here is, because I know that I want this book to be intuitively written through my spirit and with love, I don't want to get egotistic or start to put in my own thoughts and views about stuff in it. Like, I really truly want to just manifest this through my spirit and let it to be a blessing for all people that are led to read it. And on Sunday, I don't normally do this, but I went to a coffee shop and I was writing the book. And when I first started, I really was feeling in tune with my spirit. Like, when I'm in tune with my spirit, I feel my body feels light. My mind feels light. It feels like it's flowing and freeing. Whatever is coming out of me is just easy. It's even when I'm speaking through the spirit, like, I don't feel like I'm trying to find the words to like speak or write. It's just a flow. Like, it's an energetic flow. So it's like an abundant flow. And as I was writing that day, like, I was feeling irritations in my own body and my own self about the recent things going on with women in our country, and the Roe versus Wade thing, and just feeling irritation come up in me about that. And before I knew it, I do believe that my intuition and my spirit led me to write some of this, but after I started writing some of the content I was writing, I found myself going on a tangent in my book about what we believe and how we believe it, and governmental stuff, and America and blood. Like, I was just literally going on a tangent, and I didn't realize I was doing it, but I would write And then I could not come up with a word. Like I knew what I wanted to say, but then I wanted to make it sound, intellectual, or like I had it all together or whatever. So dumb. So I remember I was write. And then I couldn't think of how to continue what I was saying. And so I would stop and I would just stare out the window and I would think, what is the word I want to use? How do I want to say this? What is, And so I was like literally trying to dig deep down inside of myself to find the wording for what I was trying to get out of me. And I started to feel like restricted in my body. I started to feel gosh, I wish there were better words to say this, but like heavy. Like my body felt heavy, my mind felt heavy. It felt like I was starting to get a headache. It felt like I was getting anxious. I felt like I was trying to like I was it was a striving energy in me to get all this out of me. And when I started to notice it, I was probably an hour in already. So, oh my goodness, I'm going to have to, y'all, I'm not putting that in the book. I'm taking it all out. And it sucks because I wrote for an entire hour out of my spirit and in my ego. And I am not putting that in my book. I'm not putting anything in my book that came out of my ego self, because I want it all to be led by my spirit, to be led by love. And so I spent an hour in this energy without recognizing it. When I finally recognized it, I was able to, what I did was actually, I shut my computer and I said, nope, I'm done. I'm not writing anymore today until I feel like I'm aligned back into my authentic self and then with my spirit, because I am not putting something out in the world that is not aligned with that energy of love. And so I just shut it down and I left. And I think I went home and went for a walk and just kind of released that negative energy I was trying to hold on to and allow myself to realign. And I didn't end up writing. I think I maybe tried to write a little bit more that night, but it just still didn't feel authentic. And so I had to just set it aside. So that is just one example of how I'm able to be able to know when I'm in my spirit or when I'm in my ego. The other thing, another example is actually today, I've been working on developing, I keep telling you I'm going to develop this program, this group coaching program. And y'all, if you don't know much about astrology, if you don't know what your sun, moon, and rising sign is, I encourage you to figure it out. And it will help you it will give you a lot of insight on your personality, on your human makeup, on how you function, on how you think, how you show up in relationships and in the world. And I have come to understand, because I am an Aries, I am also, my human design is a generator. I am really good at being a leader, at being a teacher, at creating things, like coming up with creations. I am good at speaking. I am good at guiding. I'm like, these are things I'm good at as a natural born Aries leader. And I'm not saying this in an arrogant way at all. I promise you that my desires in being my true authentic self as a leader is to lead in love. And many people will hear that and be like, gosh, who does she think she is? Saying I'm a leader, all this stuff. Well, it's just my design. I'm not, you have a gifting in you as well. And I think especially as women, like we tend to like downplay our gifts and try to be like, oh, well, yeah, I'm kind of good at that, or I enjoy that. No, embrace that. Embrace those freaking qualities that you have. Like, you were made that way. You were made to have those qualities and those giftings. So, hell yeah, I'm going to embrace my leadership styles. I'm going to embrace my voice. I'm going to embrace who I am. And the more I heal, the more I'm able to do that. So, I'm not going backwards at this point. Like, I know that I am supposed to be a guide and a teacher, and I'm supposed to write books, and I'm going to do it, and I'm not going to apologize for it, because the people that are meant to be aligned with me will receive it in love. The people that aren't, I can't help that. I cannot control how another human being sees or views me or hears me. And that has taken a long time to get there, and I still struggle with it sometimes. So just know that I say all this out of complete love and out of my spirit. I also have in my direct chart, my moon sign is a Scorpio. And that means that I am very intuitive, spiritual, kind of can like psychic energies, really in tune with just the spirit of things that are going on around me and in people. And so I tend to be able to really read into people's energy, and that helps me even to understand my own energy as well. And then my rising sign is a Cancer. And so Cancer is very nurturing, loving, compassionate. They're very intuitive as well. And so I have 2 water signs and a fire sign in my chart, in my direct, in my sun, moon, and rising. And so the water kind of takes my fire self a little bit and tunes it down sometimes. And then other times my fire self is just like, whoo, blazing it. Just go, 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 go. And I have learned I have to balance this out, because we always talk about either you're an extrovert or introvert. Well, I personally don't think anybody is actually all one. I think we all are a mix, and we can, based on our energy and how we protect our own energy, is how we show up. So we can have I used to have a friend that was super really fun to be with, almost extrovert when we hung out with friends. And then she would really have to go inward to rebuild her energy, so more introverted. So when you get to know your own energy, you know where your boundary is. It's I can go this far with my energy, and then I need to replenish my energy. But when you're what is important in this is you always are going to extend your energy past your abilities, and almost manifesting sickness and tiredness and ability, wanting to shut down and quit things too when you're working through your ego. The spirit is flowing. The spirit is like an energetic flow of love and abundance. It feels like an abundant energy. The ego feels very restricting. And today I was working on this coaching program that I told you all I was going to develop, and I found myself doing 5 things at once. So my fire is very high today. I was listening to teachings on YouTube. I was trying to create the coaching program. I was trying to create another program. I was thinking about writing my book. I was trying to do some work at my actual job. I was spreading myself so thin. And here's the deal. People, we think we can do a lot of, I can't remember if I said this in my last episode or not. I know I had recorded another episode, but I can't remember if I actually posted it, so I'm gonna have to go back and look. But we can't do 2 things at once. Our mind literally, you cannot fully focus on one thing and do it to your full capacity and ability while you're doing another thing. And that's how our spirit is. Our spirit, when we're aligned with our highest self, it's a flowing energy and it's easy. It just comes out without the need to strive. When we're in our ego, we are in our striving, heavy, there's blocks that come. Kind of like when I was writing the other day, I kept getting blocks. But there's a flow in our spirit. There's a flow. Even when I say that, when I'm talking right now, it brings up a reaction in my body. You know what? Let's just try, like, if you're tuning into this, do it. Think about this. So if you're doing something, or like, you know, think about your spirit for a minute. What does it feel like to tune into love? What does it feel like to tune into the frequencies of joy, compassion, flow? What is your body reaction? How do you feel? And if you've never done this before, that it can take practice, and that's why I really encourage meditation. But how does your body feel? Is there like an opening? Is there like an abundant feeling? Is there an easiness about yourself? Now think about trying to force something to happen. Say, I don't know, like what keeps coming to my mind right in the moment is like you want to try to get somebody to like you, or you've been in an argument with somebody and you want to prove your point. Like, what comes up in your body when you think about going to try to fix something and prove yourself? What comes up? For me right now, what is coming up is my throat feels tight. My chest feels like it's heavy. My stomach started to turn a little bit. My head actually started to feel like I might be getting a headache. And so that feels like a very heavy, restricting energy in my body. And so there's two distinct ways to really tune into your intuition, into your spirit, and then how to recognize when the ego is popping its little head up. And I personally am trying to live my life more aligned with my highest self. And because I am human, I'm not always going to succeed at that. But with the things that I want to accomplish and I want to succeed in, especially with building my own business and coaching you all that come into my program, or if I end up developing this program, because if my spirit doesn't do it, y'all, I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to put that out there. So I may be saying this and then it never happens, and I will fully admit to you if that happens, because I want to be truly authentic and real in what I produce and give to you, because that's just love. That's just the energy of the spirit. That's expansion. And I want us all to manifest together our highest self and our abundant life that we're meant to live. And I think a lot of us spend a lot of time trying to fit our feet into other people's shoes, because we see somebody do something and it seems to work for them, and we think that we can recreate that and make it different and then make it ourselves. And then we start to find ourselves in this very restricted energy where we're struggling to make it happen, because it's not the shoes we are meant to be walking in. It's not the shoes that we're supposed to wear in this lifetime. And so when you tune into your own divine self, your own intuition, that is when you learn what size your shoes are and where they're supposed to take you. So if you find yourself today trying to fit yourself into somebody else's shoes, if you you find yourself feeling heavy, your energy's off, you're not fully allowing your spirit to guide you, you don't feel abundant, you don't feel open, maybe take just a moment to slow down and realign your energy with your spirit. And meditation can help with that. If you don't have time to meditate, just take some deep breaths and just allow all of that ego self to go. Your ego never fully leaves. It does have a purpose, and it is a good purpose, to protect you. However, it does not have to rule your everyday life or cause you to feel panic or the need to strive in anything. And if you do believe that you're supposed to be doing something, just like me, I know I'm supposed to write this book, and then you find yourself working in the ego instead of your spirit, just take a moment and step away. Because if it is energetically aligned with your purpose, you will get this expanded energy come back up in you, and it will just start to flow again. But sometimes you just have to, kind of tell your ego, nope, you're not in control, and walk away. So that is what I wanted to share with you all today. If you are trying to move away from this religious mindset of striving to be good enough, and find yourself feeling a little lost and not sure what your steps are to get through this, going through spiritual awakening, all that, please contact me. I would love to work with you and help you to move through this. It is not easy, especially when you feel alone. And most of my community that I have built that understand me are through coaching programs, online programs, things like that. So, I live in the middle of the U.S. in the Bible Belt. And so everything that is going on within me right now is a little rare to find around me. And so if you are feeling in that same place, please do not hesitate to reach out. You can find a way to contact me on my website. It's www.leaflessons.org. And I do individual healing as well. And if I get this group program going, then woohoo, we'll do it. Anyways, I will let you get back to what you were doing. Don't forget to tune into your spirit today. Enjoy yourself. And I wish you the best day, night, evening, whatever time it is. Namaste.